Hi. Well, welcome back. My name's Bruce. This is my classroom in the forest. And I know, as you know, if you've been following, that I've been away for a bit. It happens. None of us are perfect. I wish I was perfect, but heck, perfection left town a long time ago. Okay, what am I going to talk about? Bunch of stuff. I'm going to talk about this guy. Let's call him Louie. Now, I was thinking on this because I was thinking on books. Now, perfectly honest, it's been quite a while since I read a book. But if we roll the clock back a really, really long way, I read a lot of books. By almost anyone's measure, I read a lot of books. By almost anyone's standard, I used to read a lot. Enjoyed it. There you go. And one of the things about reading is that's how you learn words. You know, you come across them and someone wrote it down and you pick it up and then you roll those words into the set of words that you use and they become part of your vocabulary. And that's okay. And, you know, now this kind of reminds me of a guy. This is where this went. Now, when I was a kid, I was a bit of an odd guy. I get it. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed of that. It's just the way it is. And maybe I'm an odd guy now. Maybe you think this is the oddest thing in the world. I don't care. Well, I'm a human being, so you kind of care. But I don't care enough that it's debilitating. You get old and you become accepting. But anyway, so as a kid, read a lot of books. People read books. Then there's this guy. So if you're a bit of a odd guy, then you notice people. It's what you do. So this new person had come into our town, and he had, I think he had, was in the same kind of club or something I was in. Parents enrolled me in clubs because parents are looking for solutions to things, and well, enrolling your kid in clubs is kind of maybe an answer to some of your problems, but certainly not all of them. Anyway, so this guy. So let's call him Louie. So Louie is new to town with his family. Louie found out later had a brother and a sister and his mom, and they lived in their town. So I said I noticed Louie didn't really have any friends or such, and so I took it upon in my young and naive brain. I thought, oh, geez, we're going somewhere on Friday night, so let's invite him. So I invited Louie along. We were going skating. I think skating, yeah, skating. We were skating at the local arena. That was a thing. There'd be like, I'm going to say 1,000 people there skating, teenagers, but maybe 1,000 is a stretch. But when you're a kid, everything looks like 1,000. It's a big number. So anyways, took Louis skating, all that stuff, and socialized, get to know him. He was sort of a friend or an associate there, but he was a bit older. Then, what does this have to do with anything? I'm getting to it. Fast forward. Okay. So Louis, I guess he's finished school and he's working somewhere, and he needed a place to live. And so my dad hooked him and a couple of his friends. Years had gone by, so Louis, like everybody, makes a few friends. And he was living next door to us. And so we'd see this person, right? See him and different people would walk along and talk. So one day, walking along, I was telling a story or talking or something, and Louis says to me, what's with you? You make up words. It's like, what? I didn't say what, but I was in my head. I was like, inside here, I was like, what? Outside here, I was like, this. Okay. So Louis says, you make up words. It's like, really? I had said someone. I didn't even know what it was. It's something. He says, that's not a word. That's not in the dictionary. I'm like, well, no, it just never really occurred to me. I don't. When you talk, you talk. You don't think. Right? You don't think your words. You just talk. You say your thing. You have your idea. It comes across. Hopefully, it's like now. This idea. It's abstract. Maybe it comes across. Maybe it's a little weak. I know, but so Louis says, what? You're just making up words. I was like, wow. I didn't know how to respond. I mean, like, well, and why, right? Why would I even bother responding? What's to respond to? You know? Oh, there's a truck off in the forest here somewhere. It happens from time to time. Anyway, how do you respond to that? Well, I didn't. I thought about it. Well, it's 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I thought about it. So what the heck? What kind of an assumption is that someone uses a word in a sentence and you don't know what that word is, and so your assumption is that it's not a word? It doesn't occur to you that maybe it's a word that the person's using in a correct manner and context, and it just happens to be outside your vocabulary? Whoa, that was a bit of a thing. And then as time went on, I learned a little bit from this Louis guy about humans. And what I learned is that not everybody has the same relationship with time, space, and memory as everybody else. So when I would see this person, it'd be like, "Oh, hi, Louis, how you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while," or whatever. He'd look at me like I had holes in my head, a hole, like, I had a defect, an impairment. And after a while, I thought it occurred to me that he just doesn't remember. He doesn't remember anything. He didn't remember the fact that, when he was first in town, that I had gone out of my way to, make a naive attempt at friendship. He didn't remember that we were in the same club. He didn't remember that my family had extended help to him and his associates and provided them with accommodation and such like this. He didn't remember any of this stuff. I was like, okay. So my takeaway from that was that not all humans are the same. People are different. Or like, was it Jim Morrison? He said, people are strange. When you're a stranger, faces get ugly. When you're alone, or something like that. I have a cousin, Mark. Mark's an awesome, superbly talented person, and he plays and sings and such. And he does a version of that song that's really great. I haven't heard it in a while, but geez, I'd like to. But anyway, hello, Mark. There you go. Hello, Louis, if you're watching. Woohoo! All right. That's it. That's enough. Okay. It's enough for now. All right. I didn't talk about a thing. I'll talk about a thing for a second. The thing I'm going to talk about is the Hyundai Ioniq 5. We have it. It's still great. It's still awesome. A little bit of a problem. We're working through it with the dealer. It's just a problem with charging it up. But it's not a real problem because we can still charge it up. So it's only a kind of a problem, right? Okay. Bye.